Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to Rassle Rock with Rick Connor.
What the F was that entire freaking promo about?
Mark Hallbacher.
She's like the James Ellsworth of women.
And Cory Kastle.
I look like Paul London and Brian Kendrick mixed.
Hey, everybody, what's going on? Hopefully these sounds are being recorded. I'm having all kinds of technical difficulties here. Very upset.
The whole internet is against you, dude.
Swear to God. Whole damn world. It's Rick Connor versus the world, damn it. Oh, man. All right.
They should have never rebooted it. That movie's terrible.
Yeah. I liked it. I don't care.
I know you. I know you did, fanboy.
I liked it too.
You do no wrong. Oh, hell, Kevin Smith. No, that's Rock.
Kevin Smith.
Kevin Smith can do no wrong except for, except for not responding to my messages and watching Bruce.
I don't respond to your messages.
He's right, So welcome to Rassle Rock. We got so much going on this week. We can start with how ridiculous everything is, or we can start with a bunch of murderers. What do you guys want to start with this week?
They seem pretty evil to me.
Wait, is there multiple murders? Did I miss one?
There's one that got debunked, but it was a current WWE. All right, we'll start with that one. Since I brought it up, why tease it? Hugo Savinovich came out and basically accused Karrion Kross of being a hitman for the mafia. He was in an interview talking about their experiences down in AAA, and basically was like, yeah, he used to kill people for the mafia, and everybody's like, what are you talking about? It's like, yeah, he was a hitman. He was doing all this, him and his wife, and everybody just went, can we get more on that? Can you elaborate, please?
Was he trying to further the character? Was he trying to sell the character that is Killer Kross?
Maybe he was just lying. Maybe he was just lying because he's in Mexico and nobody could look up and find out if he really was doing it. Yeah, I'm a hitman for the mob.
Fact checking's for Americans.
Not to mention, this is Hugo Savinovich. He doesn't even work for the company anymore. He was on the Spanish announce team back in 2003 or something like that. It was so long. I didn't
even recognize the name.
I don't know who he is. That's how much I.
Right.
He was the guy. You've seen him, the famous dive off the Hell in a Cell that Mankind took back in '98. He was on that Spanish announce table diving out of the way. So you've definitely seen the guy before. But yeah, He was a long-time WWE Spanish announce commentator. And it turns out, since he only speaks Spanish and doesn't speak English, it just got lost in translation. He was basically saying that the guy's a killer in the ring. And everybody took it and went nuts with it. It's funny as hell because it went for a week of people basically accusing Karrion Kross of being a hitman. It was just one of those.
The internet is not known to blow things out of proportion. Get out of town.
Pshaw, I say. So
grip on that boob.
What's that?
So I'm watching NXT and Cameron Grimes got a full grip on Keith Lee's boob. He just felled him up with the left hand.
Oh man. So yeah, let's talk about what's most likely an actual murderer. Marty Jannetty came out on Twitter. I don't know, man. Marty Jannetty's weird. I know he had a bunch of problems with drugs and alcohol and stuff like that. Maybe still, I don't even know. I never heard anything getting solved when it came to that.
Well, he had a weird issue. I forget how many years ago it was. Wasn't he sending out weird tweets that he had a thing for his stepdaughter or something like that, and that got around for a while. I think this guy's suffering from some really bad CTE. I think he's losing his mind or something.
There was something about his his wife or somebody that was Jamaican left him, and he went nuts about it and started threatening her and all this other stuff. Does that ring a bell? Is that what we're talking about?
That could be the context for this post, but I don't think that maybe the catalyst of the post was that something was going on with his relationship, but I don't think that it was like, hey, I'm casually just going to also mention that I murdered some fag that I used to buy weed from. Like,
Is that what that's what he called him?
yeah,
Jesus.
yeah.
Yeah,
I'm not one to throw that word around, but that was
Yeah.
something he said in the thing.
literally what he said. Yeah, basically saying that the guy started dragging him out to the back alley. He was insinuating that this gentleman, he was Marty Jannetty at the time, was 13 years old, working for a bowling alley, and he was insinuating that this guy was going to drag him out to the back alley and essentially rape him. And then all of a sudden, this guy disappears, and his body was never found. Is what
He wrote they should have checked the Chattahoochee River.
Yeah.
So did anybody look up this guy's name and see if he went missing?
That's what the police are doing right now. The police are checking it out. There's like, yeah, obviously we have to look into this and see if there's any missing persons or anything from back then. But
Yeah, you have to know it.
Well, what is that area? Is that where he lived? Is that near the river that he was talking about? Like,
I guess.
just heard the name of that river in a country song, because that's how I heard of that river.
I've never heard of that river, so I don't know. It might be, it might not be, but I imagine it would be. The exact quote from Marty Jannetty was, "That's not the first time I made somebody disappear." So he's basically confessing to murder right on Twitter. So we'll see what comes of that.
Me and Karrion Kross went down to Mexico and killed a bunch of guys. They'll never find the bodies.
I was 13 years old. I was working for a bowling alley and also for the mob. For the mob down there. Down in Mexico.
It's like when we had Tom Hankins on the show, and he was talking about being in organized crime and the mafia while being a pro wrestler. Remember, like, what did he like? He was like, he said, "Kill that mother effer" on the show when we were in the studio.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly what we said. It was so long ago. I'd have to go back and listen to the episode. But that's a great episode.
Yeah, it's definitely worth checking out.
Tom Hankins. Yeah, man. Not Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks.
I was going to say, Tom Hankins is my favorite interview you guys ever did. Besides the Mighty Papa one, which I was involved in.
And the guy from Evolve that I was drunk all the way through.
Oh, my God. At least my interview skills came back.
Yeah.
I had a stupid panic.
Oh, my God. If I had to carry that interview by myself, I'd be dead right now.
I should hit him up, see how he's doing. I haven't talked to Trevin in a while, so I should hit him up, see how things are going. What was I going to say? Like, 13 years old, he was working in a bowling alley and murdering people. I was watching cartoons and reading comic books at 13. Like, I'm trying to really, like, does anybody not?
Right, I wasn't murdering people or smoking weed. I don't think I even knew what weed was when I was 13 years old.
I was told it was a very bad drug and we're supposed to stay away from it because it funds terrorism. And I put it out of my mind because I was busy playing Contra, like any normal kid. Jesus, definitely wasn't murdering people. So I don't know, man. We'll see what happens with it. It's just a bizarre week with the murder.
Do you want it to be a dark side of the ring if he actually did do it?
Yeah.
The fall of Marty Jannetty on social media.
I'd watch that.
It's a shame, man. Such a talented guy. I really think there's something wrong with him. I think he took a hit to the head or something like that. That just.
Well, I mean, on top of the fact that he's been a really bad alcoholic for whoever no one could even tell you how long it's been, but he's been drinking his ass off since he was in the Rockers. So he's drinking himself off of the rocker these days. That one just kind of organically manufactured itself.
It wasn't a joke that you made. You can't blame you if it didn't
You blame,
It could be a combination
blame
of the two.
the stream of conversation. The consciousness made that joke. It wasn't me.
It could be a combination of the two. He might be, due to excessive drinking, and then he probably has CTE on top of it. He's just probably losing his mind.
I mean, on top of, dude, have you ever seen his ankles? Have you guys ever looked up Marty Jannetty's ankles?
Why do you look this stuff up?
No, dude, this is like he's in such pain all the time. Like
Marty,
he's on painkillers. His ankles are like his feet are crooked. And there's been campaigns for WWE to pay to get his legs fixed. His feet are so messed up. Look up Marty Jannetty's ankles.
I'm looking at him now.
Do you see how messed up they are?
Oh, what is wrong with him? His feet are bent out.
Yeah. It's been a big thing. That's probably part of the drugs and the alcohol mixed together and the CTE.
His ankles go like this. It's the craziest thing ever. He's like reverse bow-legged. I don't even know what that is.
It's something in the business. We've been talking about this from the beginning. I remember this being something we've been talking about for years. About how messed up his ankles are.
I'm just going to tell people for now. Look up Marty Jannetty's ankles.
It's it's like the same thing with the class action lawsuit against WWE for not paying for people's retirements and stuff for the concussions. Big part of that argument was look at Marty Jannetty's ankles, and they won't pay to fix it.
Did he break them? What was that? You sound like you're in a fishbowl there, Rick.
It did sound like
I can't find a picture of it. I'm gonna have to move on. I can't find him. Marty Jannetty's never been the best at anything, really. But I mean, he's definitely never been the sanest person. Watch all these shoot interviews and stuff that he's done. I mean, when he talks about the Iron Sheik, it's easy to come off as the not crazy person. But
F Marty.
F Marty. A murderer on 13-year-old murderer, Marty.
He's just
I don't know, man.
He's just a liar. Told me he was going to give me an autograph, and then I never saw him again after the plane.
I tweeted something out the other day about Marty Jannetty. I said, being considered the Marty Jannetty of the tag team used to mean you were the less successful one. Now it means you're the racist, homophobic killer of the tag team.
Jesus.
Don't call me the Marty Jannetty of the tag team.
Yeah.
I would have accepted when you meant not as good of a wrestler as my partner. Sure, I would have accepted it. The less successful wrestler out of this tag team is no longer the Marty Jannetty, because the Marty Jannetty only is the one who's closed-minded and a murderer.
Yeah.
So
I mean, there's
Dick Murdoch. Dick Murdoch is no longer the Dick Murdoch of tag team wrestling. It's Marty Jannetty. Because he took one step to murder, whereas Dick Murdoch was just racist and a homophobe.
I mean, you got the Shawn Michaels, who's the legend and the icon and the champion and everything like that, and then you got the Marty Jannetty of the team. That's the murderer and the homophobe. That's just the way tag team wrestling works. I didn't make it up.
Well, this is the formula. Come on, doesn't everybody know?
It's the business. It's a business, brother.
It's like Vince's new thing, forming a tag team. You, come here. You're a good workhorse. Who's killed somebody? You hate gay people. Can you please get on?
Oh, man.
That's terrible.
That's insane. That's absolutely insane. But we'll see if he goes to jail. And then the week got weirder from there, because apparently we woke up and The Rock bought the XFL. He just up and decided to do it out of nowhere, and apparently he now owns the entire franchise. And it's him and his business partner and some partners from, oh gosh, what was it called? It's the Redbird Capital Partners. I'm not entirely sure what that is.
I was going to say, it sounds like it's a conglomerate, The Rock is just the name they put out there.
Yeah, he's the figurehead of it. I think he just was bailing out his buddy Vince McMahon, and he could make it something big if he wants to, or he could lose it and it wouldn't matter, right? Like I'm sure he's just gonna like put somebody else in charge of running it, and hopefully they do something cool with it. But if they don't, whatever. I mean, $15 million is like $15 to him.
Yeah, I mean,
it's the same as like buying a Gatorade from the 7-Eleven.
When you've been making $40 million a year for the last like 5-6 years, like $15 million is not much. And remember, he's got a tequila company now. He's got all kinds of money coming in from
Under Armour money.
Under Armour money.
Yeah,
anything with the Rock symbol on any Under Armour is like $20 more than normal.
Right.
And that's basically the money's going to him, I guess, or part of it's going to him. So he's big.
I mean, the guy's a millionaire now, so he wants to buy a football league. Let him buy a football league. I don't care. I mean, it's he was the first face we saw in the XFL anyway, back in 2001 or whenever the hell the original XFL started. Coming up on the screen, you smell what the XFL's cooking or whatever it was.
I didn't watch it then. Didn't watch it this time, and I won't watch it this time. I won't watch it again. And I mean, it's just going to be a peripheral thing that I know exists, and that's it. Like that's how I feel about other countries that I know I'll never go to. Yeah, cool. That happens. That's a place that exists. I'll never be there, but I know, cool. People probably make a living off of it. Good for them.
I didn't watch one game.
No, me either. I mean, I'm not a football fan. I don't watch football, but
I love football. I miss
football. I know. You're just like you're everyman Joe. You watch football and baseball and you grill.
Yeah, baseball's back, hockey's back, basketball's back. And WWE's got to fight against a lot of stuff right now, man.
Yeah. They were in competition with nothing else. Now they're going to be in competition for everything else. But honestly, I've been saying like they're competing for your attention over Candy Crush and Words with Friends. Like it's if somebody's going to be distracted, they're going to be distracted and not watch.
I just play Candy Crush while wrestling's on.
Right, exactly.
Because it's so bad right now.
Man, somebody's gimmick should be that they're the Candy Crush guy. Their gimmick is as a wrestler. Like they can't focus on their match because they're playing Candy Crush on the way to the ring, and they just like can't like a spot. They knock a guy down and go play Candy Crush for a minute.
Like WWE, like just rips off Orange Cassidy, but instead he's playing Candy Crush.
Right,
so
right.
He's just like,
Candy Cassidy. Candy Crush Cassidy.
Yeah, it's not a bad gimmick. I say book it. Why not?
Are you listening, WWE? This is free lunch. This is free advice. We're giving you gold here. Take it and run with it. Make us proud.
Dude, since we're talking about football, should we
send us money?
Talk about who I'm looking at on the screen right now? Who's going to wrestle at? Oh, this is going to suck.
Oh, yeah. Let's get into it. The old Pat McAfee situation.
Oh, yeah. Call the match.
I can't believe we didn't talk about it last week.
I didn't think it would blow up like this. I didn't know where it was going. The last week was the story was Adam Cole went on the Pat McAfee show, which is essentially a glorified podcast, and he just went and they had like an altercation. Pat McAfee kept on putting him down, basically saying very passive-aggressively saying that he was short and he wouldn't have gotten anywhere if it wasn't for the rest of the Undisputed Era, and the rest of the Undisputed Era is more talented than him. It's like, no, I'm saying you're being smart by surrounding yourself with better people than you. Like, it was very crappily done, passive aggressiveness, but ended up with Adam Cole flipping a microphone over and telling him to go F himself and It was the video, the full interview is up on YouTube if you ever get a chance to watch it. It's actually not a bad interview. It looks like it's an interview segment that leads into a gimmick, which is always kind of cool. Mm-hmm. And then this week on NXT, we get Pat McAfee at ringside saying that everything's cool, everything's been smoothed over. Him and Adam Cole are cool now. And then, of course, he starts making jokes while Adam Cole's at ringside. It leads into a little scuffle, and then Pat McAfee kicks Adam Cole right in the head and lays him out cold. So it looks like
he's an NFL kicker.
Yeah, I know. Well, it's the greatest punt return something or other of all time. One of the punter people that does things and that is famous for punting.
Punter Pearst Pelmsley. His name is going to be Triple P.
I don't normally drink this early during the
day. No, man. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to this. I don't know. Does he have any training, Pat McAfee? Was he like one of the students before all this?
I don't know.
Nobody knows. We don't know.
I don't know. He was for a while. He was doing like the pre-shows with Sam Roberts.
Yeah, he was doing the thing where he was at WrestleMania in a tuxedo, but had shorts on, and everybody made such a big deal about the fact that he was wearing shorts instead of pants with his tuxedo. And it was like, who even gives an ounce of a crap about that? Like, this is WrestleMania. It's not. What are you wearing?
It's so weird how WrestleMania they always make a big deal about everybody but the wrestlers. It's just so weird.
Yeah, WrestleMania's always been about wrestling. Like is on the bottom level, and then it's the magistry and the pageantry and all the whatever the spectacle, and it's all like the celebrities and all that kind of stuff. It's always been about that. Not always, but it's become that over the years.
Yeah. It's the wrestle is in the title, but the platform is more of what you're highlighting than actual wrestling.
Yeah. Yeah. And now we got Pat McAfee is going to have a match with Adam Cole at NXT TakeOver 30. I can't believe there's been 30 already. That's crazy. But I don't know. I don't know how this is going to go. I'm not really looking forward to it. I hope to God that Adam Cole wins because he needs it. After losing the title, if he's going to lose to Pat McAfee of all people, that's just pushing him further and further down the card. And we've seen that happen so many times where nobody's going to take him seriously.
I honestly think this is Adam Cole's send-off. I think he's going to lose to Pat McAfee and then show up on Raw or SmackDown. I don't know how it's going to work yet because I really think all four of them should come up at once. I think the Undisputed Era should come up as a group.
You know what I think what's going to happen is McAfee's going to beat Adam Cole because he's going to have that McAfee pop-up blocker stuff, and it's going to block the run-ins. From the
what?
Like the McAfee virus protection.
Oh, I didn't know you were.
No one knew where he was going on that one. Somewhere Matt Flowers is just kicking his phone or watching it.
You were almost there. You were almost there. If we would have gotten it, it would have been good.
Yeah, I didn't know how to get there. I couldn't articulate what I was thinking.
Don't
blame me, blame articulation.
That's right.
I'm just taking no blame for nothing.
So we got quite a few things that happened that were very, very weird this week. I enjoyed NXT. I enjoyed SmackDown, but what in the holy hell was Monday Night Raw? Raw just overall, I think, was insane. I didn't hate it, but I was very confused by a lot of what happened. We got the first good way to put it. Yeah, I don't understand. I guess it's we got Shane McMahon back. Right. Shane McMahon doing Raw Underground, which is a little Lucha Underground, little Fight Club, little Brawl for All, a little bit of everything. What did you guys think about this? Anybody?
It was awful. It was,
It was awful. Yeah, it was. That's the word. It was very bad, and it was like, it's like people are showing up. People are tuning in to watch pro wrestling. Pro wrestling is what we came for, and you're showing us something that's somewhat pro wrestling, but like there's no ropes, so nobody can jump off of stuff, and it's supposed to be a fight. Like, why don't they just watch fighting? This is stupid. I don't like it at all, and it's like the people all banging on the mat. It's dumb. It's I don't like it, and I hope that it dies a terrible death.
So Simon Miller, I think, put it best. He said they were fake fighting, pretending it was real fighting on a fake fighting show.
Right.
And I was like, wait, what? As you're watching it, like,
I'm a dude playing a dude dressed as another dude.
And then Dolph Ziggler just pops up out of nowhere.
That didn't make any sense.
Well, it would be funny if it was like if they had like Ming show up and destroy people.
Like
because he's known
just beating people up.
Right. Like he's known for that. Like he's got a reputation in the locker room. If they had it like that, it feels like it could be so many different ways that it isn't. Like that goes for everything, really. That was a very broad statement. It has the potential to be something that is cool. Like I know somebody else said something to me about this might be a cool way to bring Brock back. Sure. But is it really worth it? And who the heck was this guy that when Shane, it's just like Shane's acting like he's scared of the guy. Like he's running this show. Why are it's what hit Shane McMahon because he's in fight mode? Just shut up. You're insulting my intelligence.
Just none of it made sense. First of all, Shane McMahon was thrown in there. It was supposed to be another wrestler who was going to host it or something. And then they asked Shane to do it because they get pops, and ratings whenever Shane shows up. So they just did do a mini spike in the ratings.
I don't know, man. Well,
Rick, is that your wheel going again? Rick has
my internet. This whole neighborhood sucks for internet, man. God damn it. Go, somebody else talk. This is no. I understand what you're saying, Cory. Like it's not good now, but it does have the potential to be good eventually if they can get it to a point where it looks better than it is now. Like you said, maybe they'll use this as a way to bring Brock back, but they can't do that with what we have now. Like it's too cheesy. We're trying to make this look like it's underground. We're trying to make this look like it's something that's different from the rest of the show, which is weird because on Raw they had a bodyguard standing there with his arms crossed in front of a door, and they're like, "Oh, Shane McMahon's behind that door, and he's got something for you." So basically, this just happens at the arena. This is just something that's just there. That's behind closed doors somewhere.
There's a thing that I used to say to promotions that would run and they wouldn't draw fans. I'm like, when the fans don't show up, say this is a very underground thing. This is a very underground thing. It's very private. Nobody wants it's not that your show sucks and nobody wants to show up. It's the fact that it's very underground and it's hard to find out the location of it. If everybody knows that this is in the location that the same place as Raw and SmackDown and NXT's at is just in a different room, what's the point? What's the point at all? Like all of it feels like it's all just scratching an itch that nobody had.
My whole problem. Why are they fighting on a half-ass Kumite ring, which there's no ropes, when they just had Matt Riddle and Thatcher fight in that really cool cage with the platform around it, why wouldn't you use that for the underground fighting ring?
Yeah, that would be neato.
And then you could have the people standing on the platform,
banging on the cage
right below.
Right, banging on the cage on the outside, screaming stuff out, like they do at UFC when they go, "Oh, go watch the guard, look, turn it over, watch that leg." Like that would be something that'd be worth a little more than this is worth. This is
I just think visually, if you put all the people on that platform around the ring and they're fighting in the pit down, and you do camera angles where you're over top them while they're beating each other up, it'll look like they're actually like fighting in a pit.
Yeah,
and
it's very
cinematographic. Give it more of like a rawer feeling than 3 half-ass strippers with porn music playing in the background. Shane's walking by like, "Hey, underground!" It was really bad. It was just really weird.
Yeah, that whole aspect of it too, like having the strippers. Like, what the hell was that for? Like, it was just felt too stupid. None of them were wearing masks. Damn it.
I think Vince had a mini stroke and he thought it was 98 all over again. I think that's all it was. That's the only thing I can think of.
I mean, it might turn into something half decent at least. I mean, it might be like, I don't think this is going to be something that takes off for a while. Like they're going to have to keep on pushing, but they're going to have to fine tune it and get it to a point where it's not as cheesy and simple. Like, I don't mind the dancing girls. I don't care. Put up dancing guys. I don't care. I don't get it, and it gives it a different feel to it. They're trying different things, and I got to applaud them for that at least, because their numbers are in the toilet. USA is probably super pissed, and they're trying to change it up and do different things. Like a while ago, they did. I'm talking like back in the 90s, they had Raw is War, and then they had the War Zone. Back when Raw was 2 hours, they split it up into different shows. If you can get this to a point where it's not bad and it's something different, treat it like it's its own show. Give it the third hour of Raw and be like, okay, this is Raw after
a time slot.
That's a cool idea if it works. I mean, you have the 2 hour Raw and then the last hour or something else, or vice versa, however you want to do it. But
and maybe it's not this. Maybe it's something completely different. But I mean, this has potential if they can work out all the kinks. I think that they can get this done. I like the whatever Ouchie Club showing up at the end and taking over everybody. And
the Ouchie
Club. It's the Hurt Business.
The Hurt Business. The paper cut company comes in at the end and just runs Ronshot. I like the Lashley being in there. He's got some MMA experience, so why not keep him in there? And because they're not doing anything else with him right now. What's he going to feud with Ali? Like, come on.
Yeah, this would be a good way to introduce making pro wrestling more like a real sport. And when I say that, I only say that because I think that we have 3 separate brands. We should have 3 different seasons. There should be off seasons for people to take breaks. And I think that it would just make you miss them more when they come back. Not to go like, well, someone's going to take their spot and they're not going to be important anymore. No, it's like, we know that there's going to be a scheduled time where he's on the roster. It's going to be from this time to this time. So if you want to catch it. It's making you like more anticipate somebody's entrance and exiting of a season. If we say this season, I mean, the shows have seasons. If you watch it on it, it'll say this is season 30 something with, like episode this, that. So you'll be like, okay, well, I signed on for season 38. So when this season ends, then I return. So
I mean,
it could serve for a. I mean, but once again, if WWE's listening and are taking my advice on starting seasons in wrestling, which I think should be the case, hire me as a consultant. Pay me money.
Yeah, why not? Give us all jobs.
So I'm
We need
watching,
to get-
I'm watching the actual Adam Cole interaction with Pat McAfee. So McAfee gets to kick him in the face last week, but all Adam Cole does is throw water on him. Like, dude, they make their own wrestlers look like chumps against outsiders. It's just stupid. And then I got Shawn Michaels out there with his gray beard, like trying.
Your beard is weird.
I didn't even know. Yeah, your stash is trash. No, but I didn't even know that was Shawn Michaels when I first saw it. I'm like, who's the guy just in like a cutoff, denim or whatever shirt that he was wearing and a cowboy hat? Like, who the hell is this country hick? This old guy that they got in here trying to break up a fight. Oh, wait, that's the legend, Shawn Michaels. Gotcha. Sorry, everybody.
And the dude, the retaliation is Triple H. Triple H shoves McAfee.
Yeah.
So it's Hunter her Pelmsley on Punter Pearst Pelmsley.
Yeah.
I hate wrestling right now.
So, well, the other one of the things that happened this week that I thought was cool was on SmackDown. The faction Retribution showed up on SmackDown. The thing on Raw with them setting fire to a generator, I didn't really get it, but it looks like
I thought it was the Ninjas.
What is it?
I was confused. I thought it was the Ninjas. I thought that was Akira Tozawa and his crew, like just lighting fire. I didn't know.
Was it on SmackDown too? I thought it was great when they did the spray paint, on the plexiglass. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
Is that what
it looks like?
That's what the faction is?
Yeah, they're called Retribution. They basically have we don't know who they are or anything like that, but they're protesters. They're protesting Raw and SmackDown, which I think is kind of cool. I'm assuming that these are either people that have been kept down forever and have been booked really terribly, or the people that some of the people that got let go during that whole Black Wednesday thing back in April. So,
the product sucks. Just take a break.
I heard two of the names in the hoods are Nico Sozio and Matt Flowers.
I did see. I saw on Twitter, legit. I saw on Twitter that somebody said that the one looked like Carmella. So,
Carmella.
That seems like it kind of ruins it for me.
Why?
I don't know, because like this is too badass for her. Like she's too yo, moonwalk. Like
maybe it's good for her. Maybe it's a change.
Yeah.
But the whole thing is they're inspired by Antifa, which I think is kind of dumb. But and it's basically they're not rehashing, but they were supposed to bring the Nexus back for Mania or SummerSlam. I can't remember. And then with COVID, that all fell apart. So now I guess they're just, like you said, using released wrestlers and maybe wrestlers that aren't being used. I heard Dijakovic's going to be part of this too. For his call up. I don't know how it's going to work. I don't know what's going on yet. But it's one of those wait and see things. It was kind of cool. It was a little lame. They should have beat up a couple wrestlers instead of just people outside cheering. The NXT people.
I got a little creeped out by that. Like they started beating up a couple of the things. I thought that was cool for one because it showed like, yeah, okay, they're not beating up actual fans, but they cleared the surrounding area of all the people that are supposed to be fans, and they beat up somebody. The only thing that freaked me out was when they drugged the woman across the floor. It got a little rapey at that point, and I kind of got starting to get a little scared. But I thought the whole thing was cool. Like they cleared out everybody. Like I thought it was awesome. Took a chainsaw to the ropes and everything. I thought that was neat. Yeah. Spray paint and everything. So yeah, we'll see. One thing that happened, there was
come back. He's going to lose to him and be their slave for like one day, and then he's going to beat all the members at once. It's like next Survivor Series.
One thing I heard was pretty cool. They did a SummerSlam 1992 watch along party on YouTube. It was like Renee Young, Booker T, CM Punk, or whatever. But they weren't really watching the show. They were just basically having a discussion. Well, they were having a discussion as well about current things that are going on. And Renee Young turned to CM Punk, and she's like, "So the rumor is you're the leader of this Retribution thing." And CM Punk just turns around and goes, "No, I'm the hacker," which I thought was hilarious. I was like, "That's awesome."
What happened to the hacker? That completely disappeared.
Yeah, that's gone.
Well, McAfee ad blocking software. It's good. I knew it would come back.
Yes.
Should we talk a little AEW too today, or what did I do on my team?
Yeah, we can get into that. There was a big thing with Matt Hardy getting split open.
Dark, right?
Sammy Guevara just chucked a chair at Matt Hardy's head and busted him wide open. Man, he was just peeing blood out of his head. That was kind of gross. Apparently, Guevara is getting a little bit of backstage heat for this. Cory, you've been on both sides of this. You've been on the side of the guy that gets busted open, and been on the side that busts the open. Does the busting or whatever. What do you think about all this?
The buster, and the busty.
Yes,
I think it's good for business. I think that Matt Hardy is probably looking at it as an opportunity to gain some more interest in something. I don't think anybody is mad at either of them in the inner circle of it all, and no pun intended on the inner circle. But I mean, on the people who are involved with that, I don't think they're mad at all. It's just doing business.
Accidents happen.
I heard what it was is there was a gimmick chair that he was supposed to throw at Matt Hardy's face.
He said Farty's face.
Hardy face. Matt Hardy face. And he couldn't find it, so he just threw any chair because he didn't want to look bad where he was just searching for equipment on the floor, which in the end, it kind of makes sense. If he sat there for another 2 minutes, he's searching and he's like moving one chair out of the way to grab another chair, it would have looked bad. So Matt's right. Okay.
He called an audible. That's what we do. We call audibles on spots that we planned all the time. I think that's why wrestling nowadays doesn't look as good to me as wrestling from the 90s, because I watch wrestling from the 90s and it looks like that's all spontaneous ideas, and it looks like everything is they're recovering from slight f-ups. When now it seems like everything's so overly produced and so practiced and exactly the way it's supposed to look, instead of like there's room for error and there's room to call an audible. And the ability to do that, to think on the fly, is something that I think has expired in a lot of this generation's mind. Like they're not as easy to bend with the wind. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So yeah, good for them, man. I'm enjoying AEW right now, from what I've been seeing, except for Cody Rhodes. I still hate that guy. But everyone else has been good. I mean, we got Eric Bischoff did a nice little segment. That was a nice surprise.
That was really well done because Orange Cassidy hasn't spoken the entire time he was on AEW. Yeah. Instead of doing a typical yelling, screaming promo, he just turned to Jericho and told him to shut up, and then told him exactly what he was going to do, and that was it. And it was to me more legit than like throwing a big show and like Jericho's been doing since he's been there, being so over the top. I kind of like how he was very understated when he basically told what he was going to do to Jericho. I enjoyed it.
I saw my friend Kevin posted the other day. He used to team with Orange Cassidy back in the day. They did the Jersey All Stars. But Kevin did a thing where he was in the gym with like his shirt off and he was like doing deadlifts. And Orange Cassidy was like just sitting in the background, like, and Kevin wrote like, Chris Jericho, you better be careful with how hard Orange Cassidy is training for this feud.
Yeah, she made it to the gym. That's a big step for him. He actually went to the gym.
He had the denim jacket on in the background and everything.
Like, I'm really enjoying Orange Cassidy. Like, I like how they put Brody Lee over with a lariat. Like, just and the size of him compared to every other wrestler in AEW is insane. He's a giant compared to the rest of those dudes.
Yeah.
I think they're doing a good job with Brody Lee. Their storylines are just better. They're just better. I mean, WWE, I think, as a whole, has better wrestlers, and especially their female division. But AEW, for story-wise, they're just so much better. It's so much more enjoyable. You get payoffs. There's not a distraction finish or a roll-up every single match or whatever else.
I do think that the crowd reacting organically to things in AEW adds so much of a level of quality to WWE. When you watch it, it seems so manufactured, so like canned, and it's just dumb.
Well, not only that, if you listen to WWE when they boo, you can almost hear the dudes laughing because they're just sitting there like like we said, there's like an applause button, like light somewhere, right. And they're all like boo, like just kidding around. It doesn't even sound genuine when they boo people. It's so manufactured.
Right. For the first time ever, I'm gonna not boo when I was told to boo. Everything has to be for the first time ever. We're witnessing for the first time ever the applause button being ignored.
So bad.
Yeah. I know. It's going to continue to be bad. There's not much we can do about it. You can either stop watching or just.
Yeah.
Well, another thing that went through my mind is like with this this new faction that like broke apart everything and chainsawed the ropes. How come they didn't do that at the Raw Underground? Why didn't they beat up those people for no reason?
There were no ropes to chainsaw through. Maybe that was it.
Spray paint on Vince or on Shane McMahon.
Yeah.
Well, not only that, the Ouchie Envoy was sitting there, and they didn't want to fight those three guys. So.
The Paper Cut Club.
Yeah. All right, I think it's about time we figure out who wins wrestling this week. What do you say, guys?
Who wins wrestling? Blah, 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 blah.
All right, Mark, what do you got, man?
This was a hard one for me. I was going to go with Orange Cassidy because I did like that promo really a lot. But I'm going to go with Dakota Kai. She's finally getting her second title shot against Io Shirai in the last time she just got destroyed by Shayna Baszler a couple of years ago. And I really like how they built her up. I don't know where her heater is. I guess that's probably a COVID issue. But if they bring Raquel Gonzalez back, could be a good chance Dakota Kai wins the belt. I got a weird feeling Io Shirai is getting brought up too. So I like Dakota. I think she does a good job. She's had a couple her match with Rhea Ripley this week, if you haven't watched it, is one of the better matches on NXT.
Yeah. I really enjoyed her this week.
What do you got, Rick?
Oh, okay. I'll go then. Let's see. This week,
I will go.
No, it is my turn to go. Yeah, it was difficult this week. I'm actually thinking I'm going to go with Shorty G. Only because he's actually getting some time. They're turning him heel with the whole Baron Corbin bounty on Matt Riddle thing. They have, I mean, it's an opportunity. It's a small opportunity, but they have an opportunity to actually take this character that they drug through the mud ever since the what was the team called? The Jason Jordan
American Alpha.
American Alpha. Ever since they got rid of American Alpha, he's just been going lower and lower and lower on the card. They have an opportunity to finally build him back up now that he's a heel. And with this whole thing on SmackDown, everybody's pissing and moaning. It's like, oh, that match was a DQ, that match was a DQ, that match was a DQ. I think that actually makes sense. If you have, maybe this all leads to a match at SummerSlam. Maybe there's going to be a fatal 5-way or something like that where it's no disqualifications. That would at least make the whole entire thing make sense. And if they're doing it with Shorty G, I hope they push the guy. And I hope they, I'm hoping that he does well.
Now, I almost said Shorty G as well. I was just the main thing that pissed me off was the fact that they made him get kicked by Sheamus after he did the disqualification. Like he should have attacked Sheamus. Like he got Sheamus disqualified. Dude tried to kick Chad Gable's head off. He should have just been like, "Nah, dude, I do what I want. Like if I want to get disqualified, whatever, I'll get disqualified." Like I liked it a lot, but I thought it stole his heat a little bit away from him, having him eat the boot from Sheamus.
Well, not only that, there was a good point brought up. Like, so Baron Corbin has beef with Matt Riddle, right? Sheamus is fighting Matt Riddle. Why wouldn't you let Sheamus finish the match with Matt Riddle, and if Matt Riddle actually wins, then you attack him? Like, wouldn't you want Sheamus to beat Matt Riddle up just a little bit more,
right,
before you like interfere in that match? And is Sheamus face now? I don't know what's going on. I don't understand that.
I don't get it.
That might have been a Sheamus face turn. The whole why did Baron Corbin send him out? I'm not sure that he did. I think that was still part of Chad Gable trying to cash in on the bounty thing. I think he did that on his own. He's like, oh, I'm not going to let Sheamus get the best of Riddle and get the bounty. I'm going to get that for myself. That's the way I took it. Obviously, it's not the way that it was really portrayed. Since Sheamus didn't go after Shorty G, he went after Baron Corbin. So maybe I'm completely wrong with that, but that's the way I took it. Okay. So I don't know. Corey, did you give it the Who Wins Wrestling?
I didn't get an answer yet, but I was going to say Alexa Bliss because she's involved in the main event angle for the World Heavyweight Championship, and she doesn't have to take any bumps. So good for her.
That's very true.
Main event spot on SmackDown, and she didn't have to do anything.
Yeah, I'm not sure what they're doing with her. If they're turning her heel and sending her with the Fiend.
Yeah, it looked like she like touched his face in a weird way, and I was like, oh, well, it's like it's getting us talking about it. So
I was actually going to bring that up after we did this, if we didn't talk. Like it was really weird with her, like literally brushing his face. Maybe there's a thing where she figures out how to manipulate the Fiend later and use him. And whatever you get, like Alexa Bliss is, I think, the best female on SmackDown. So anytime she's on screen, she gets more time to do something. I'm excited for it. To get her away from Nikki Cross would be nice too.
Yeah,
so,
they don't need each other.
But I see Alexa playing some role in the SummerSlam match against Braun, but I don't think it'll be positive for Braun. So we'll see how it works. Let's see if it plays out and if it plays out well or not.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. I thought this was all really cool. It was very strange. It's one of those things where the Fiend just has that effect on people. Like he messed with Seth Rollins, he messed with Finn Balor, he messed with this guy, that guy, and the other thing. So it's like it could be just that thing. Once you deal with the Fiend, you're not the same anymore. I think that's what's happening with Braun Strowman now. They're saying he's some kind of evil monster or whatever coming out
of the swamp. Shut up. Usually you refer to your old character, but that he wasn't that character. He was just a giant meat that could lift a lot of weight and throw stuff around. So he wasn't like some evil monster. Like
keep him away from ambulances. If you get him near one, he'll flip one. If you get Dean Ambrose near one, he'll steal it.
I just hope he brings back his "I'm not finished with you" line. I always thought that was great. When he's beating someone up, he would just scream, "I'm not finished with you," and pick him up and start beating him up again. I always thought that was the best thing about Braun. Yeah, so I hope he brings it back.
It reminded me of Raphael from Ninja Turtles.
Did he used to scream, "I'm not finished with you"?
Yeah, in the first Ninja Turtles movie, he said, "Get back here! I'm not finished with you!" Damn!
Okay. I don't remember that, but all right.
Yeah, I do.
Raphael.
They need to have more Raphael in pro wrestling.
Yeah.
It needs to be a Raphael character in wrestling.
Yeah, man. All right, I think that's about it for our show. We got to start wrapping things up, man. Thank you guys very much for listening. Cory, what do you got going on right now in your life?
Subscribe to Evolving with Cory Kastle. There's a new episode dropping tomorrow with Todd Glass. That'll be on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Make sure you subscribe to Rick's YouTube channel to watch the video element of our podcast, Rassle Rock. I'll leave that plug for him to make. But, like I always say, make sure you let us know you exist if you like the content that we're giving you every week. Comment on the YouTube channel. Check out on YouTube also. If you check out Fertile Ground Films, Phertile, Fertile Ground Films. Check out Bruce. It's my 15-minute short film that I did. One of the coolest things I've ever done in my life. And I'm not going to spoil it for you, but for sure, it's only 15 minutes of your time, and you'll want more. And also, check out my YouTube channel. Just youtube.com/users/Cory Kastle, spelled the way it's spelled right here on the screen. That's CORYKASTLE for the people just listening to the audio. And for sure, support everybody you love. Be a good role model and an inspiration for folks. Love the people you love and tell them that you love them. And I'm a hippie.
All right, man. Now I can't call you a hippie because you already did that. I thought you said you weren't going to skip my plug anymore. My plug is that you're a hippie. No, go to my YouTube channel. It's tinyurl.com/YouTube Rick Connor, CONNOR. You're going to find episodes of this podcast on there that you can actually see. And you can actually find some pro wrestling in there, some starring myself, some starring Cory Kastle, some starring Nick Burke, who's on this podcast all the time. All kinds of stuff on there, man. And if you like this podcast and you want some merchandise for it, head on over to teespring.com/stores/Rassle-Rock. Every item on there is connected to a different charity. So when you're buying a piece of merchandise, you're helping somebody out that really needs it. That's all I got. Mark, do you got anything?
Mark WK25 on Instagram. That's all I got, man. I got nothing going on. I'll be in the East Park. Come find me.
Real quick, I want to also mention a good friend of the show, Big Slam, Walt McDonald. We lost him this past week. I want to shout out to his friends and his family, other wrestlers. We're all very affected by this loss. Pretty sudden, unexpected sort of thing. We're doing an event that's going to stream on the 19th. Rick's supposed to be there. Myself's going to be there. Grey Wolf will be there. We're all the proceeds are going right to Walt's family. Support. Like I said, support not only the people you love, but support the people that love them. And check out that show, and more information will be tweeted from me or put out on the upcoming weeks of Rassle Rock.
Mm-hmm. And that, I think, will just about do it for this episode of Rassle Rock. I'm Rick Connor.
Mark Kalbacher. Baseball.
Cory Kastle. No baseball.
No baseball. Let's take it out like we always do with Mr. Nick Burke. Not even starting. It's fine. It's fine. I don't know. Oh, edit in post. This will just be a blank screen, and we'll hear the song. Good night, everybody.
Bye, everybody.